All right, welcome back, everyone. Today we're diving into something pretty wild. A YouTube video claiming you can make like $797 every single day using Google search.
It's pretty interesting, actually. It's all about finding businesses that are, well, let's just say a little behind on the whole social media thing.
You mean like businesses that aren't on Facebook in 2024? I feel like everyone's got to be on Facebook by now, right?
You'd think, but according to this video, there are tons of them out there, and that's where the opportunity comes in. The idea is you reach out and offer to create and manage their social media for them.
Okay, so like walk me through it. How do I even find these businesses that are missing out on Facebook?
It's surprisingly simple. The video starts with this manual method. You just use Google search, believe it or not.
Wait, really? Just plain old Google.
Yep. So let's say, for example, you search for hardware stores in your area.
Okay, so I type in hardware stores near me. Got it. Then what?
Then you look at the More Places section. That's where they list out all the local businesses on Google Maps.
Ah, I see. I see. And then you check if those businesses have Facebook pages.
Not quite yet. First, you got to see which businesses don't show up in the web results when you scroll down.
Okay, so I'm looking for the ones that are kind of hiding out, digitally speaking. Got it.
Precisely. And then, just to be extra sure, you can do a separate Google search for business name Facebook to double check, like a little digital detective work.
I love it. I'm already picturing myself, magnifying glass in hand, scouring the internet for these businesses. So let's say I've found my target, a hardware store with no Facebook presence. What's the next move?
Then you head over to their website if they've got one and find their contact info. And that's where the magic happens. You send them a carefully crafted email.
Carefully crafted, you say. Spill the beans. What kind of email are we talking about here?
Oh, this is the good part. The video actually gives you two templates, both super short and designed to, grab their attention.
Short and sweet. Gotta love that. What do they say, these emails?
The main point they hit is that the business is losing customers to competitors who are active on Facebook.
Playing on that fear of missing out. Classic.
Exactly. One subject line even goes, is competitor's name scaling your customers? Pretty bold, right?
Oh, straight to the point. And the other one?
Even bolder, it says competitor's name is cheating. No messing around there.
Okay, so they actually name drop a competitor in the subject line.
Yep. And then the email itself basically says, hey, these guys are getting ahead because they're on Facebook, and you're not. We can help you fix that.
That's a good point. I can see how a business owner would be like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I need to get on this.
Right. And then you swoop in and offer your services. You'll create and manage their Facebook page for a monthly fee. The video mentions some people charge between $150 and $500 a month for this.
Wow, that's not bad at all. But manually searching for businesses and emailing them one by one, that sounds pretty time-consuming.
Yeah, it can be. But that's where the video throws you a curveball. They've got a shortcut, a tool called D7 Lead Finder.
D7 Lead Finder. Never heard of it. What's that all about?
So it's a paid tool that basically automates the whole process of finding businesses without social media.
Wait, so instead of me going through Google Maps and hunting them down, this thing does it for me?
Exactly. You just tell it your location, what kind of businesses you're looking for, and bam, it spits out a list of potential leads, saves a ton of time. And it's not just Facebook either. You can even filter for businesses that don't have Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, or even a website.
So you're telling me I could find businesses that are like completely off the grid digitally?
Pretty much.
That's insane. But what about like if I'm just starting out and don't want to shell out for a paid tool right away? Any free options?
There is. The video mentions a free alternative called Lead Scrape. It's downloadable software that does basically the same thing as D7 Lead Finder, just maybe not quite as fancy.
Okay, cool. So even if you're on a tight budget, there's a way to get started.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. But even with these tools, the video really stresses that this is a hustle. It takes daily effort. The more emails you send out, the more potential clients you reach, the more you could potentially earn.
Right. It's not some get-rich-quick scheme. You got to put in the work.
Yeah.
But speaking of effort, they also mentioned something called an autopilot business model. What's that all about?
That's where it gets really intriguing. The creator doesn't give away all the details in this video, but he offers a free class that goes into it more in depth.
Ooh, little mystery to keep us hooked. I'm definitely curious about this autopilot business model. What do you think it could involve?
Well, based on what we've seen so far, it probably involves finding ways to automate the process even more, maybe using different systems or tools, like taking things to the next level.
Okay, so there's a whole other layer to this hustle we haven't even touched on yet. I'm already thinking of all the possibilities.
Me too. It's a great example of how the online business world is always changing, always new strategies and techniques popping up. But before we get too ahead of ourselves, let's take a step back and just recap what we've learned so far about this Google search hustle.
Yeah, good idea. It's a lot to take in. Where should we start?
So we started with using Google search to find businesses that haven't really jumped on the social media bandwagon. Then we talked about the video creators method, finding those businesses, sending those attention-grabbing emails, and ultimately offering to help them build a strong online presence.
And we even explored some tools that can make the whole process easier, both paid and free options. So no matter what your budget is, you can get started. This is already pretty fascinating stuff, don't you think?
It really is. It just shows you how effective simple solutions can be and how technology is changing the game for entrepreneurs.
It's like a reminder that sometimes you don't need to overcomplicate things. The most straightforward approach can be the best one.
Exactly. But I think there's even more to unpack here. What really stood out to you so far?
Honestly, those email templates are genius. They're so short, but they get the point across. And using the competitor's name, that's a brilliant move.
Right. And the video even suggests sending those emails out like every day. Just keep at it. That's the hustle.
Speaking of hustle, what about that teenage daughter the creator mentions, the one who's using this method to make money? That's pretty inspiring.
Oh, totally. It shows you don't have to be, some tech guru to make money online. And the video actually talks about the creator's own journey a bit. He started out using these same methods to bring in some extra cash, and eventually he built what he calls an autopilot business model.
Wait, hold on. Autopilot business model. You had me at autopilot. Tell me more about this.
Well, he keeps it pretty vague in this video, but he does mention a free class where he goes into more detail. Sounds like it involves setting up systems and using tools to, automate the whole process.
So you're saying there's a way to make this even more hands-off. Sign me up for that class.
Seriously. And it just goes to show how digital marketing is always evolving, always new things to learn and try out. But this whole autopilot thing got me thinking, what other parts of this method could you automate, I wonder?
Well, what about sending the emails? Could you use a tool to automate those initial outreach emails?
That's a great thought. There are definitely tools out there that can handle email campaigns for you, which would free up even more time to focus on other stuff.
This is blowing my mind. We started with a simple Google search, and now we're talking about automated email campaigns and hands-off businesses. It's amazing what you can do online these days.
It really is. And it shows you that even something like social media management can be a stepping stone to something much bigger.
Okay, so let's say I'm sold on this Google search hustle. What are the main takeaways I should keep in mind?
Well, I think the first one is that there are still tons of opportunities out there in the digital world. You don't have to be a coding genius to start making money online.
I love hearing that. I'm not exactly a tech whiz, but I'm always looking for ways to earn some extra cash online.
And second, I think it really emphasizes the power of simple solutions. Sometimes the most basic approach is the most effective, especially when you're starting out.
It's like they say, work smarter, not harder.
Exactly. And finally, this method highlights the importance of hustle and being willing to learn new things. The more effort you put in, the more you're likely to get out of it. And as we saw with that autopilot model, there's always room to grow and level up your approach.
It's all about constant learning and improvement. But we've been talking specifically about social media management. Do you think this Google search method could work for other skills or services too?
That's a great question, and I definitely think it's worth exploring. We've seen how many businesses still haven't even gotten the basics of social media down. What about other areas where they might be struggling?
Like website design, SEO, that kind of thing.
Exactly, or even something like content creation. Think about it. There are so many businesses out there that need help writing blog posts, articles, social media updates.
It's like flipping the script on job hunting. Instead of waiting for a job to open up, you're going out and finding businesses that need your expertise.
Exactly. And you never know, maybe in the process of adapting this method to a different skill, you'll stumble upon your own autopilot business model.
Now that's the dream. This deep dive has definitely sparked a lot of ideas. I'm excited to start thinking about how I could use my own skills to find clients online.
That's what we like to hear. So to everyone listening out there, we challenge you to think about how you could apply this method to your own skill set. What gaps can you fill in the online world?
You know, I think what really sticks with me after all this is the idea of being a solution provider. Like, we often get caught up in finding a job, but what if we flip that around and focused on finding problems we can solve instead?
That's a great way to think about it. And the online world is full of problems that need solving.
Right. We've seen how businesses are struggling to keep up with just the basics of having an online presence, and that's just the beginning. I bet there are tons of other problems out there that we, with our own skills and knowledge, could help with.
Absolutely. It's all about figuring out where your strengths lie, finding that niche where you can really add value, and then connecting with the businesses that need what you have to offer.
This deep dive has really opened my eyes to that whole approach. It's not just about getting a job, it's about creating your own opportunities.
Exactly. And the amazing thing about the online world is that it connects us with businesses and clients all over the place. The possibilities are endless, really.
So, to everyone listening, I think the challenge here is to ask yourself, what problems am I passionate about solving? What solutions can I offer? The internet is waiting for your unique contribution.
And remember, the key to thriving in this constantly changing online landscape is to stay curious, stay resourceful, and never stop learning. Who knows, maybe someday we'll be featuring your success story on the deep dive.
That's a great thought to leave everyone with. Thanks for joining us on this exploration, and until next time, keep hustling, keep learning, and keep on diving deep.